100 days in nuclear winter in hardcore Minecraft. As it was voted for on my last 100 days video, nuclear winter was the most popular. And if I'm being honest, I am so pumped that winter won. Nuclear winter is so crazy and fun. I love it, and you guys were right to pick it. GreenFe's original video on nuclear winter was a lot of fun, but it was only really scratching the surface of what is in this mod pack. Progressively stronger mobs, mutant beasts, and of course, the crushing elements of winter. All with a massive final attack on the last day. Let's do this. So it's day 1, and we start in late autumn, just like GreenFe. We have to start in autumn, otherwise I won't be able to grow any food. I'm returning to the city, hoping that the worst of the fallout is over, when I find this, a massive blast crater from one of the bombs. And also, I already see some snowfall. The fallout isn't over, it's just begun. I can hear off in the distance that this city is still overrun with zombies, so I know I'm gonna need to prepare for a fight. I loot some iron, but I know that the city's too dangerous, especially at night, so I run into this romantic sunset and make myself a hobbit hole for the first night. Day 2, I want to mark this hole with cobble, and a spider gives me my first scare right here. In hardcore Minecraft, the worst part of any playthrough is always the beginning, before you get any gear or a base with food. I've had to do a lot of restarts for this nuclear winter, and I don't want to go through that again. I look over the ruined nuclear landscape. I need to make a solid defensive base somewhere out here. I find a highway that's super elevated above the rest of the wasteland, and I start thinking up a plan. But the sun is getting low, so it needs to wait till tomorrow. So the next day, I start looking over the highway to see if I can make something work. The highway only touches down in mountains, which is really good. It has a small tunnel here next to a valley. It has some mega taiga on one side and forest on the other. I like it. And there's some moo-moos and chickies already settled in the center of the valley. I keep on looking past them and I find this tunnel, and I know it's going to be full of mobs, so I decide that this valley is perfect. But for that night, I have to go hide back in my hobbit hole. I can't sleep with mobs right outside, so the mobs decide they don't want to be outside anymore. Creepers in this mod pack can sense you through walls, and they'll blow through them if they can't get in. I'm stuck with no armor and a stone sword, just praying that another creeper doesn't spawn. Day 4, and after that scare, I am done with the hobbit hole. I need to get started on this highway skybase right now. So I do. I find an area with animals and start setting up the basics, including an anvil from the city. I'm going out to get some asphalt, and then this happens. This is not the last time I do this, by the way. While we're here, take note of the area here under the highway. It's not going to look this nice for very long. Day 5, and my priority is protecting the animals. I head to the front tunnel to grab all the asphalt there. I spend all of day 5 making a quick, safe area for me and the animals. It's nothing too strong, but remember, the height here is our advantage, boys. Day 6, and the animals are looking good. Right when I think I'm safe, though, a storm rolls in. This storm is huge. It's picking up blocks all across the valley. But even though its center is far away, I can still feel it pulling me from my front door. Now, you guys know, I've had some pretty hard sucking before, but this is the hardest I've ever been sucked. I get pulled out into the forest on the left side, and I keep getting pulled, thrown over the highway, and now I'm over in the taiga biome on the right side, and I'm headed right to the center of the storm. I am being ripped up way into the sky. The ground below me is shredded and torn free of any vegetation. Every time I touch the ground, I bounce right back up into the storm. I'm being thrown so high, I'm actually up above the treetops. And remember, these are mega taiga treetops. I'm getting stuck in the trees, but they can't really help me. Every time I think I'm going down, I get pulled right back up. Normally, I would jump down into water to escape the storms, but it's frozen. I just bounce right off of it. Even these melted parts here can't keep me. The storm is too strong. Now I don't know what to do. I get lucky here, and I land right out front of this cave. I fight, and I manage to pull myself in and shelter from this nightmare. Finally, at night, I can go outside. Or at least what's left of outside. Everything has been stripped clean. If this had hit my base, for the animals, on day 7, I see that my base definitely needs a roof. Between the storms and now this spider, this is not safe. But first, I am running out of food and winter is coming. Now, have you guys ever thought to yourself, why can't you eat chicken eggs in Minecraft? Well, in Pam's Harvest Craft, you can. I just need to get some clay for the cooking utensils. Pam's Harvest Craft has these bushes, which give you these special crops, all of which have different growing seasons. For now, the autumn crops will still grow, but in winter, nothing grows. At the end of the day, I find a little bit of clay hiding over here in this pond, and I start day 8 turning all of my spring crops into seeds for the chickies. Now with the bricks from the clay, I can make a skillet, and this I can use with eggs to get fried eggs. Only 1 unit of food, but if I keep the chicken safe, it's basically infinite. Now if I want to make better food though, I'm gonna have to start working on the farm. So now I'm laying dirt out on the highway. I am basically building a farm patch up in the sky. I then spend the next 2 days mining for iron. I really don't have to show like all this footage, right? I mean, it's pretty boring, but if I skip days, people do freak out, so... Here, look. The sun is setting, and in the F3 menu you can see it's day 9. All through this night, I spend working on the farm, then finally setting up torches. Like, everywhere, torches. Day 10, and we need some water for the farm, which means we need to drill underneath the ice. Oh, and also check this out. Falling trees in Minecraft just make me so happy. Farm's almost done, and then that's the end of day 10, sleeping with the chickies. So, on day 11, blood moons start. Now this doesn't mean I'm gonna get a blood moon tonight, or that they're ever guaranteed. Every night has a small random chance of getting a blood moon, so I need to be prepared. Now I know I have a bunch of cool, special Harvestcraft crops that I can choose to plant, and I choose wheat, but hear me out. The animals are the most important thing right now. They're the reason I built my base here in the first place. I look through all my crops and find the autumn ones, and I decide I want to plant some blackberries. I can make blackberry cobbler with these. I also decide to bring in more of the chickens. No point in only having 2 in here. This cow tries to escape, but he knows better. Don't you? End of the day, and this highway base is coming along. Day 12, and it's time to upgrade the animals' living area. We're making a barn. Now, I need to focus primarily on defense, so this shouldn't be too nice, and it's not going to be too time-consuming. Okay, I'll just add some windows. It's not too fancy. I'm not going to get carried away. And maybe some support columns. That's still not too fancy. It's fine. I really should work on the roof of my base. I mean, I need something nice too, right? And then it happens. We get our first blood moon. I start by breaking all the pathways into my base. I can figure out some kind of bridge system later, but for right now, the best defense we have is just keeping their spawn areas away from the highway platform. But I don't get everything broken in time, this creeper gets over. I take some damage, and I need to retreat. This open area is going to be useful later, but for now, it has no defenses. Look at it, it's basically no man's land. I can't even see the skeletons out in the dark, and the creeper flames make their arrows flaming. It's kind of the worst spot to be in. I get back home, and I see the base is chaos. What are all you guys doing? The backside closest to my base is also not safe. Creepers are blowing up right next to my house, and spiders can crawl the highway supports. I make a shield to protect myself from the arrow onslaught, and this creeper blows a zombie over the gap. Okay. And finally, I watch this witch fall. The sun rises just in time. Now I'm safe. Or not. I start putting the glass in the barn, and I make some mid supports, but I'm not getting too fancy. I swear. Day 14, and I finish my roof. Probably should have had this finished on like day 5, but it's done, okay? Now the barn is looking pretty good. We can move the animals in. Cows are tucked over here onto the left side, looking good. And then chickens will be put over here on the right. That night, I'm trying to figure out how to make this bridge work. This looks pretty good, and it's an easy jump. I start to trim back the asphalt, and I get to see below my base. It's just a big, fiery explosion. If you're wondering why creepers do that, it's part of the epic siege mob. It's called creeper napalm. Every creeper explosion leaves behind fire. Remember how I said that under my base wouldn't look nice for long? Yeah. This area is in shadow, and it has mobs spawning all the time. Look, witches be trippin', fellas. But now, I got more important things to worry about. I make a bed, because I'm heading out. I'm gonna go looking for some key biomes with some key items. But first, the sun is setting, and I don't want to get caught out at night. So I dig a little hole, and I go to sleep. Next day, I find these blue milk caps, so now all I need is cactus for green dye. I can mix the cactus green dye with the blue dye to make cyan dye. That's what we're after. I look right out, right here at the edge of my render distance, and it looks like a swamp. I check my F3 menu, yup, and now all we need is... there. Yeah, I get pretty excited. This is a swamp flower, and it can be used to make cyan dye directly. I then spend all of day 16 just getting flowers. Yeah, I seriously, the rest of the day, just getting flowers. I even make a little hole here for the night, because I'm not even done. Day 17 is an explosion. It's gonna be an exciting day, right? Nah, just more flowers. I spend the rest of today collecting flowers, and I finally start to head home. I find the giant Tiga biome, and soon I even find the debris path that the storm left from day 6. I'm still like 500 blocks away from home, and the storm wreckage is still visible. It was a huge storm. I follow it all the way back to my home, put my flowers away in the base, I come back out to grab some wood, and then spend the night working on the roof of the barn. But don't worry, I'll have this done by tomorrow. Remember, not too fancy. Okay, it's tomorrow, and I'm still adding some oak slabs. That doesn't mean it's too fancy, okay? I also add some more support beams here, but still, it's not too fancy. And then I go out at night to get some oak. I put myself in danger in hardcore, but I swear, I don't have a problem here. I also I add some more beams, guys. This is functional, I swear. This is important. Day 19, and now I'm working on getting another cow in the barn. That's totally practical, right? That's not fancy. I need to push this cow in, and then I hear this cow make some kind of remark about the barn being too fancy. Well, can't have that. I mean, I'm just gonna add a few more slabs, no biggie. You know what? I gotta admit, I guess it is pretty fancy. Okay, now that I see it in the light, I admit it, yeah, got a little carried away. Pretty fancy. I head out today, and I grab some sand. Then I throw it in the furnace, and then I decide to head to the city to grab some books. But the mobs are getting bad, so I run home, and it's a good thing I did. Winter has come, and it's marked by a harsh winter storm. It comes and blows me all day. Sucks me good, but not as good as last time. This one goes over the front of the base, and it doesn't manage to pull me away. And when I see this snow in the air, left behind from the storm, I start thinking my crops probably aren't going to be growing anymore. And I check to see, day 22, I need to start setting up a greenhouse if I want to get any crops during the winter. I start with some stone, and then I move on to glass, and I work all through the night. Then, up on the roof, I start setting up the greenhouse glass. This is the reason we collected all the swamp flowers. The greenhouse glass needs cyan dye, which you make from the swamp flowers. Now anything that grows under these blocks will not be affected by the season. It means we can grow crops during winter. But at the same time, we're getting a lot of snowstorms, and this greenhouse glass is really expensive. So I'm gonna build a buffer roof on top of the greenhouse glass to keep it all safe. It's looking good. I head out that night to get some more gear. I find my first diamonds. Not bad. I stay down here for a few days, and turns out I get a lot more diamonds. Like a lot more. Seriously, like, I got a whole full set of diamonds. On the night of the 26th, I get a full set crafted, and now I'm a lot more prepared for the next event. And the mutants too. Day 27 and I'm back to grabbing sand. I spend a whole day doing this. Yeah, a whole day. Not every day is action-packed, guys. But hey, look at this. A chest full of sand and iron. Not bad. The next morning, I'm out looking for wild bushes. Jeez, look at how much the storm ruined the landscape here. Now that it's winter, these wild bushes no longer respawn. So I have to go out pretty far to find some. I find what I'm looking for, the onion, and I'm out. I decided I'm gonna grow corn and onions. I add some more greenhouse glass, and I finish up the roof, but I misclick, and now, if I want to get this back, I'm gonna need silk touch. Ugh. I wanted to have blackberry cobbler. Unfortunately, that takes sugar, and I don't really have the greenhouse space for sugarcane right now. So I'm making a switch. I'm gonna be doing onions and corn from now on. And speaking of silk touch, I'm thinking it's time to get some enchants. Farm some obsidian, and I craft an enchantment table. Sit up here in the corner of my base, and I use some of the books that I found from the city, and I get my enchantment library. Nice. First, we do the sword. We get sharpness 4, fire aspect 2. I also get enough obsidian to make a nether portal, and I put that inside of the wall. Now, base is looking much better. Finally, I power grow some corn, and I power grow some onions, and then I grab a little bit of milk from the moo-moos, and I finally add them all together, and I get my next meal. Cream corn. It's a much better meal. Oh, also I find this. Diamonds everywhere 3. Day 30, I'm setting out again. I find some coal. It turns out, if you use a pick with diamonds everywhere enchant, you get diamonds for free. It's only like 1 diamond per 20 coal blocks, but still, free diamonds. This is great, but what's not so great are these mobs. Look at this spider, it's huge. Whoa, look at how fast that zombie is over there. They are way tougher to kill. This one alone with the armor is a real handful. And now, I'm caught outside in a blood moon with these buffed up mobs. I run home as fast as I can, and all around me are these huge mobs. They're faster, they're stronger. I can barely get home, and I run over my bridges. And a creeper just blew up my front bridge. I go to the back of my base, and I see this zombie and a creeper are back there. And of course, the creeper blows a hole in the back of my base, in my library. And I realize they got across on the stone bridge I made. Really? I repair the wall, and I manage to survive the night. Day 31, I see the creepers have totally wrecked my front bridge. It's a weird jump now. I really need to fix this. But first, I'm gonna farm gravel, and I do that all day. On the morning of the 32nd, I spend breeding my chickens. This was for feathers, for arrows. Then I farm a bit of stone for my next project, and then some coal. I love diamonds are everywhere. This is so cool. Then I start crafting my XP farm. I use this style of XP farm because I'm not really sure I want to use a mob grinder with these really strong mobs. Day 33 and I'm back into the mine. Diamonds everywhere is so good. And then I get iron by the stacks. Seriously, I grind iron for the next 4 days. But on day 38, I run out of cream corn. And I decide I want to get a food that's a little bit better. So I use a mortar and pestle with some corn to get cornmeal. Then I add eggs, and I add milk to get cornbread. And finally, we have a solid food source. And also, look at this. Silk touch. Finally. Much better. I go to check on my XP farm. Now that it's loaded up with iron, it's doing pretty well. And now the sand is ready to be made into greenhouse glass. So now it's time for an extra build. It's another greenhouse. The first greenhouse was so cool, I decided to double down. I need more greenhouse space anyway. And I think it's a pretty cool side-by-side greenhouse looking build here. And I end my day by getting this enchant, which I've never seen either, High Jump 2. Sounds pretty cool. Yup, turns out it's super cool. I can now jump 1 block higher and 1 block farther. And now I can make my bridge a little bit wider and, well, I gotta get better at that. I'm gonna make it through the siege tonight. I still gotta work on that high jump. But moving on, day 40, and now the second greenhouse has all of its greenhouse glass in place. I just need to finish up this buffer roof, so I head out to get some more sand, and of course, I get a blood moon. I run back home as fast as I can before the mobs start spawning. And this time, I actually get the jump right. But I still have to figure out how to peek over and shoot the zombies below me, as this happens. I really wish I had feather falling instead of high jump. I managed to keep myself alive though in this racy war zone, and if I just keep jumping, I can go over 2 high blocks. The mobs can't follow me, so I get a little distance from them. I run back to the bridge. Unfortunately, they've broken one of the bridges, so now I can't go home. I'm gonna be honest, I spend this entire night just running away, and just tanking hits, and eating, and jumping just as much as I can, trying to make it through tonight. And I get back to the bridge, I try to make a temp bridge through all the lag, but I make it. And then I even make this temporary dirt shelter and I just hide. After all of that, I just want to live. But the mobs get one last hit in and they break some of the front bridge. In the morning, I craft up some TNT and I try to soften up the mobs under me by dropping some bombs. I can see that the zombies have built up right to my sky base. Luckily, I spent most of last night running around. They didn't build up too much and actually get to my base. But if I'm in my base overnight, they will definitely be able to get up to me. I throw some basic little protection on my base on the backside so I can defend it if I need to. And now the snow is really starting to blow in. You can see it's sticking to the ground, just in little patches for now. Sure enough, another storm rips through the world. It grabs up this spider, which, I gotta say, pretty funny. And this zombie too. But so far, with all my defenses, the storms haven't really been my biggest concern. I start really feeding my chickens. I'm just glad I have someone in this world who doesn't want to kill me here. I run out, grab some more sand, because I need to get the glass protection in the greenhouse. And I also get some gravel for the arrows. Even with all this chaos, I gotta admit guys, I'm having a lot of fun. Thanks for leaving all the comments, and thanks for voting for Nuclear Winter. Again, solid pick. Seriously, I know that asking people to leave comments is kind of cringe, but it really does help this channel so much and really fun to hear from you guys. I know I always say something mushy in these videos, but I can't help it. It's so much fun making something that makes your days just a little bit better. You guys are the best. If these videos make your day even just a little easier, let me know in the comments. You know I always respond. Day 45, and these dirt battlements, they're no good. I need to make something stronger. There. Now I should be able to shoot, but also hide and heal in this front line. I also add some more layers to the back side of my base, so the creepers can't just blow in as easy. On my next 50 days, I'm really gonna need to work on my defense. In that video, I'm gonna need to redo the entire base. I wanna be able to move around the base better, so I add an upper walkway to connect my roof right to the very front of the base. Also, with high jump, this means I can clear this and go straight up to the upper level. I'm grabbing some quick diamonds so I can repair all of my gear for the very last siege. And on the way out, this happens. I hear a storm outside. Sure enough, more snow comes blowing in. The storm just barely missed me. It passed over my head while I was underground, which is good, because I can tell this one was a real sucker. The water is completely frozen too, snow and ice everywhere. Now I'm still getting a little sucked here, and I start to go towards the storm, but then I get lucky, and I fall into this little creeper crater. There's a little bit of snow piled up here, but, you know, the storm isn't too bad. Day 47. I walk outside, and I see the first sign of what's truly to come. A true nuclear winter. The trees have all been blown away. The ground has been blown into pits and craters, and all of that has been covered in a layer of nuclear fallout. Even the sky has turned foggy and dim. I look at my base. It's all that's left. I go to clear off the snow off the greenhouse, and I finally get the second greenhouse covered. Everything is set. This is it. My last few days. Day 48, and the storm has passed. The world has got a strange stillness to it, like it's all dead. I have a quick access now around my base setup. I'm gonna add some more defensive positions out front. I'm hoping that I can use this so that when the mobs build up to me, I'll still be able to have a little height advantage and shoot down at all the holes they break through the ground. Another storm rolls in on the last day. The final blood moon. Here we go. All or nothing. I throw together another shield, and I run out to my front battlements. I already see the first mutant beast, a creeper jumping up in the air. I pack up, not wanting to fall down, when I hear it. A mutant zombie. Suddenly it jumps through the ground. It pulls me up, throws me back down, and it halves my health in one hit. I turn around, I see a creeper on top of my new battlements. So much for that. Now, I'm a little scared. I carefully peek down to see how high the zombies have built up. Now, the creeper's explosions are actually keeping the zombie builds pretty low. But it means if I fall down there, I'm gonna be in real trouble. In my foxhole here, I'm safe for most of the incoming fire, but I can see the mutant zombies over the bridge. I hear them. I know they're ready to break in here. I get so focused in, I didn't see this one jump onto my base. Bam! A massive explosion rips through my health again, and it puts a hole right in the middle of my staging area. I have to get rid of this creeper now. I get lucky, and he falls down through his own hole that he created. I'll need to deal with him, but for now, I just gotta heal and I have to repair quick. Speaking of dealing with mutants, I downed this mutant zombie, but if they go down, they can get right back up unless you light them on fire. I think this one's burning up, but I can't really see if it works in all the chaos. I see another pair of mutants, but they look like they're fighting each other. This creeper dies, and the zombie goes down. I think, just maybe, I may have gotten a double kill here. Then, all the mini creepers left from the dead creeper finally explode. Did he really survive all of that? I see this one go down. Now he's on fire. I'm looking at it kind of looks like it works. The other one's right next to him. I know I'm close to killing him. He's right under me, and I need to peek. When an arrow hits me and it knocks me down, this could have easily been my death. I'm surrounded by mutants. I'm hurt. This is desperate. I need to keep moving. I managed to kill the skeleton who shot me off the cliff. I get a little bit of revenge, but more importantly, I need to find some safety. I run across what's left of my bridges and hide one last time in the bunker wall. I need to be careful, play a little safer, and be more defensive. It's not day 50 yet. I'm not done. I keep getting knocked off my base, and I keep getting way too close to death. I need to find a way to stop these ranged attacks. The area below, it's an absolute mess. But the beasts, they're all killing each other, for now. I managed to outlast the onslaught. It's day 50, but if I want to make it to 100 days, I'm gonna need to think of a plan. I'm only halfway there. This has been the first 50 days of my 100 days of nuclear winter. When I come back, in the next video, I'm going to be adding even more mods, new enemies, as well as improving my base so I can withstand even bigger attacks.